So WrestleMania 42 is this weekend, and of course it's a big weekend, a big WrestleMania. So it is of course that time for my predictions for WrestleMania 42. Now of course I know I haven't really done a lot of stuff, of course, on the road to WrestleMania. I've just been busy with work, and I know I haven't been recording a lot over the past few weeks. I know usually about almost a video a week has come out for me over the past few weeks. It's just, of course, the timing of trying to record and the days that I potentially could have all that I have off from work. It's just work and school and all that I've been trying to work around while also trying to record these videos. But this weekend will be a big weekend, as of course you guys know. Prediction video of course for this video, and of course I will be doing review videos. I will be doing review videos for WrestleMania for both nights. I'll get more into that probably later. But of course, in today's video, we're going to be focusing on the predictions. Now, we're going to go by both nights. Of course, we know the official match card for both nights. So we're going to go match by match. Now, we don't know if this is in any particular order, but of course, these are the order of the matches that I have them in. Of course, we already know what the main events are. But we know the cards for both nights. Like I said before, we're going to go ahead and go through them, give you guys my predictions, and who I think could potentially win, and of course some other thoughts as well. Now, with that being said, before we get into the video, make sure you guys, as always, let me redo that. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell for future upcoming videos here in the BrewCrew channel. As of course, I do wrestling content like this, and of course, I do football content as well. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video, and let's go ahead and get into our predictions, and let's start off with night one of WrestleMania. Night one of WrestleMania, the first two matches, of course, will be live also on ESPN2, while also being streamed on ESPN on the ESPN app. But the first two matches, of course, the two matches we'll go over, of the two matches being on ESPN2 for 1 hour, or I think for the first hour or something like that on ESPN2. First match I have down is, of course, the big unsanctioned match between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. Now, of course, this match has, of course, been building up for not even weeks. This rivalry has been building up for months, of course, ever since about last year on the road to last year's Saturday Night's Main Event, I believe it was, or one of the Saturday Night's Main Events last year. One of the Saturday Night's Main Events last year, where Jacob Fatu was supposed to, believe, to have either a one-on-one match with Drew. I think it was a one-on-one match with Drew. He was secretly attacked. We all think it's true. We don't really know, because that, of course, is a thing we have yet to actually discover if it was Drew who attacked Jacob. But all that has culminated into this big-time match here at WrestleMania, unsanctioned match here at WrestleMania. And honestly, I don't know who I have going in, or who I have winning this match. I honestly have Jacob Fatu winning. He's really been one of my favorites ever since he came into WWE. I truly believe he has a chance at some point. I wouldn't be shocked if it's later on this year, but hopefully at some point down the line we see this man as a world champion. He is definitely great in the ring. He's great on the mic as well, and has been having some really great rivalries throughout the years of him being here in WWE, and this has definitely been one of them. I definitely am hoping that this match is a brutal one. Brutal war, unsanctioned rules. Shockingly enough, this is the only second unsanctioned match in WrestleMania history. The first one was back at WrestleMania 33 with Rollins and Triple H. But to end it off with this one, and not make this any much longer, I have Jacob Fatu coming out with the win as my prediction for this match. The next match on the two matches on ESPN2 is the three-man tag team match, as the tag team champions division, Logan Paul and Austin Theory, team up with the streamer himself, IShowSpeed, to face the team of the Usos and LA Knight. Now, of course, it's been a wild road coming into this match. I was really hoping that we would have a tag team title match of some sort, but sadly enough, if you're a fan of tag team wrestling, or a fan of just tag teams or tag team whatever, sadly there is no tag team championship match, especially on the men's side of things. There is, of course, the women's tag titles, but WWE has not really been utilizing the tag team divisions. But not to get more into that, I'm just going to quickly go through this. I believe I could see the Usos and LA Knight winning this one, but I don't know if a little bit inside of me does see WWE pulling off a shocker and having the Vision and IShowSpeed with the win. But my final prediction that I hope they go with is the Usos and LA Knight. And now, speaking of the women's tag team division, the next match is the Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Team title match, which features the team of Lash and Nia, who are the champions, the Bella Twins, Charlotte and Alexa, and Lyra and Bailey. Now, of course, this has been a build-up for weeks and weeks. Of course, this was a match that everybody is definitely excited for. I'm excited to see. Lash Legend is entering her first WrestleMania, which is very exciting, and she's entering as a champion. So I'm definitely excited to see. My two who I think could win this is the Bella Twins or Bailey and Lyra. Now, the Bella Twins, mostly because they, of course, are a Hall of Fame tag team, and would love to see them win the Women's Tag Team Championships, because they definitely were the two wrestlers in WWE that kind of made the idea of women's tag teams. And so to see them finally win the women's tag team titles, especially at WrestleMania, would be a pretty big moment and a cool one as well. So I would definitely like to see that. But I think higher up, though, for my prediction for this match is Bailey and Lyra, because of what happened last year. Now, yes, Lyra did win last year with Becky, but she was supposed to be with Bailey. Now, of course, now a year later, no one has, of course, hopefully, has not attacked Bailey or anything like that. Bailey and Lyra, could they finally have the WrestleMania moment together for the first time as a team? And can Lyra go back-to-back years of winning the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania? So those are my top two, but I'm a little bit higher up on Bailey and Lyra finally getting their WrestleMania moment together. Next, we stay on the women's side of things with the Women's Intercontinental Championship and the big-time rivalry between Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, who is the champion. Now, of course, we all knew that this was going to be a match at WrestleMania even before they had their match at Elimination Chamber, but this is a hard one, though, for me to predict who could win, because a little bit of me does want to see potentially Becky Lynch win, because, of course, me, along with some other fans who have said it, are worried if AJ Lee could be a full-time Women's Intercontinental Champion, or if he'll turn to a part-time, because she, of course, just because that's, of course, what fans are saying. But I don't really want to see Becky Lynch again, so I do think this is the final chapter between the two in this rivalry, and I would like to see if Becky Lynch does go back in the Women's World Title picture after this match if she loses this match. So I'm kind of up and down about who I want to win this match. So I'm actually going to lean more towards AJ Lee winning and retaining. I think she could still lose the title down the line, maybe at the next PLE or at the next time she defends it. But I think here, I want to see her have a little bit of a longer reign as Women's Intercontinental Champion. And if I'm honest with you, I'm kind of getting sick and tired of Becky Lynch being in the Women's Intercontinental title and being the Women's Intercontinental Champion. Because yes, she's had her moments with the title, she's helped elevate that title, and now I feel like it's time for someone like AJ Lee to sort of do the same and pass it on to the next young women's superstar who could, of course, elevate that women's championship. So my final prediction for this match: AJ Lee to win and retain. The next match is a sort of shocking match that, of course, was made official, but is still an interesting one because it's an amazing mega dream match for WrestleMania. That is, of course, Seth Rollins versus Gunther. And now their promo this past Monday night really got me, and I believe also everybody else that I've seen online, more hype for this match. Not only, of course, is this a big-time dream match, this match is, of course, this definitely has a lot of story, which definitely they have been able to tell a more interesting story. Of course, what was actually leading into this, of course, we know Seth Rollins coming back from his injury to go after the Vision, but of course there's a lot of road bumps, or speed bumps, or whatever you want to say, roadblocks, I should say. I don't know why I said road bumps. Roadblocks for Seth Rollins, mostly with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, two members of the Vision, both getting injured. Now, of course, I have been seeing that Braun Breaker is definitely, I believe, still going through rehab or something like that, and has been successful through it, and is looking like he could return. Either a lot of people are saying he could return in this match at WrestleMania, or could return on the Raw after WrestleMania. Now, this is also a match that I'm kind of up and down of who I want to see win, because the question is, what's going to happen after this match if one of them wins or one of them loses? Now, Gunther mostly came into the fray because he was doing a favor for Paul Heyman, but Paul Heyman has a favor for him, and a lot of fans do think that favor is Brock Lesnar at this upcoming SummerSlam this year, which will be in Minneapolis in Minnesota, which of course is where Brock Lesnar is from. But of course, that's for another day. That's for another day. And then Gunther kind of made it more clear he wants to prove that he is better than Seth Rollins. That Seth Rollins cannot go in the ring with Gunther and have a great match. He wants to prove he's better than Rollins and is the best in the world, which of course he put on a really great promo to get more hype for this match. And I am really hoping that this match could be an exciting match and could be one of the show-stealing matches of the night, and that's what I'm really hoping. And I really think it will with the wrestler like Gunther and Rollins. I think they could. And definitely, of course, interested to see what happens. Maybe Paul Heyman gets involved. Maybe we do see a returning Braun Breaker. Maybe Bronson Reed, depending on him as well. But I'm kind of been leaning towards, I've been thinking about this a lot, I've been kind of leaning towards Seth Rollins winning. I know there's going to be a lot of Gunther fans thinking that if he loses this match against Seth Rollins, it's going to ruin him. I don't think he will. If, of course, he does still have the whole thing with Paul Heyman saying, like, look, I know I lost, but you still owe me that favor, and that's what, we lead up to potentially SummerSlam and potentially Brock Lesnar. They could do the same thing, though, with Gunther winning, but I feel like I only see Gunther winning if Paul Heyman or at least Braun Breaker get involved to sort of help Gunther win. But I'm kind of leaning towards Seth Rollins winning, so that is my final prediction for this match, which, of course, I've been going on pretty long with this one. Seth Rollins winning this match, my final prediction. Now we have, of course, the first big Women's World Championship match, which, of course, features the Women's Royal Rumble winner Liv Morgan, as she will challenge Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's World Championship. And now this rivalry has been really, really good and really underrated, and I feel like a lot of people haven't really been talking about it a lot, mostly because these two women have not even done, like, back and forth promo talks, really. They've just brawled every single week. And that, of course, has been loved by fans with this rivalry, and definitely can't wait to see how this match goes. Now, this one I'm kind of also iffy about, because I kind of want Stephanie Vaquer to win and retain, because I want to see if she can continue as women's champion. But I do want to see Liv Morgan win. I want to see her have a big WrestleMania moment, because apparently she has not won at a WrestleMania in all the WrestleMania appearances she's been in, which is pretty shocking in my opinion. So I think a win here could definitely be a big moment for her career, and her finally winning back the Women's World Championship. Winning back the Women's World Championship and all that, and becoming Women's World Champion again. I definitely would love to see that, and I really hope we do see that. So quickly, for this match, my final prediction for this, I got Liv Morgan winning and becoming the new Women's World Championship, hopefully in a really good match. I am definitely excited for this match. And now, the main event of Night 1 is, of course, an iffy match to be the Night 1 main event. But, of course, that is Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, the 20 years of history. But the build-up to that has not been really great. Now, the build-up started off pretty great with the attack from Randy Orton and all that. But really has gone downhill with the introduction of Pat McAfee. And yes, if you have not kept up, I did say Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee has come into the fray, being apparently the one on the phone with Randy to tell him to, quote-unquote, kill everyone, mostly just attacking everyone and attacking Cody. And, of course, this has upset a lot of fans, as even upset a lot of wrestlers, because, of course, this could involve TKO and WWE. Now, I don't want to get more into that because I want to focus on this match. I am hoping, though, with how bad this build-up has been, I'm at least just hoping that this match is good, okay? Because, of course, we know last year what happened with Cody Rhodes being in a world title match with John Cena. It was really disappointing, in my opinion. Of course, with the introduction of Travis Scott. And now a lot of people think that's what's going to happen with Pat McAfee, but I am just hoping, if it does happen, just make the match better and the ending better. Please do not let Randy Orton in the match and win the championship with him hitting the title on Cody, because that was one of the cherry on top for me last year of why I thought the match was just disappointing, because of them ending with him hitting the title and all that. But I'm hoping this match is good, and honestly, I know there's been back and forth throughout that people are thinking, oh, Cody Rhodes could retain, Randy go after 15. I am on the side of potentially seeing Randy Orton win, as much as I kind of don't, because I don't want to see that picture of him and Pat McAfee. I just wanted to see him. But either way, my final prediction for this main event match, and to end off Night 1, is Randy Orton winning and winning his 15th World Championship. Now we head on to night 2. Now, of course, this video is going to be long, but that's just how it is when there's a 2-night show. But, of course, the first 2 matches for night 2 will be on ESPN for the first hour, so we'll go over those 2 matches. Of course, the first one, and one of them being the IC title ladder match, featuring Javon Evans, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, the Intercontinental Champion himself, Penta, Rusev, and Jaden McDonough of the Judgment Day. This is going to be a big-time match. The first sort of Intercontinental Championship ladder match since, I believe, WrestleMania 32. Finally having this and finally giving superstars like Rusev, like Javon, Dragon Lee, and even Jaden McDonough a shot at WrestleMania. Of course, Rey Mysterio, we all know the joke. Rey Mysterio was saying he was injured, so he didn't have a match with Gunther. All of a sudden, he's now healthy, and now he wants to be involved in the ladder match. Trying to avoid that career-threatening match against Gunther. But anyway, this is probably one of my most exciting matches, along with Seth Rollins and Gunther. This is one of my more exciting matches because it's a ladder match. It has so many great wrestlers in this match, and I can't wait to see who do I have winning. Mostly the only person I have on my mind to really win this match that I really hope they do pull the trigger on and win is Javon Evans. He's entering his first WrestleMania. He's right now, I believe, the youngest competitor to ever compete at WrestleMania. So I definitely would be excited to see if they have him, the young star, finally become a singles champion. Because we haven't seen him as a singles champion, really. Singles champion. So I would really love to see him in his first WrestleMania match, in his WrestleMania debut, win the Intercontinental Championship. So my final prediction, I have Javon Evans winning and becoming the Intercontinental Champion. Next on ESPN, the next of the 2 first matches on ESPN is, of course, the big one, Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. Now, of course, I was kind of worried that they were not going to do this match until they had Oba come out when they had the segment thing. What happened to my voice? They had the segment thing with Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins. Me thinking they were going to go that direction and maybe they were going to do something else for Oba. But no, Oba comes out. He does the fall from grace powerbomb to Brock. Everybody goes crazy in the arena. Everybody goes crazy online. And the match happens. The dream match happens. Everybody's excited. And really, they have not put on the brakes with this. They have just been full on acceleration on the gas pedal for this, especially with Oba. He performed probably a really great promo to set up this match, and of course to go ahead and say I have him winning this. I breathed in there wrong. You can see how excited I am for this match. There's a lot of these matches, even though, yes, there's a lot of matches that could be on this WrestleMania card. There's a lot of matches that are really good looking for this card that I am really excited for, and this is one of them. I have Obafemi winning, but of course there is the worried people of thinking Brock Lesnar could win, because of course we potentially think this could be Brock Lesnar's last WrestleMania match, but I feel like it's right because of Obafemi being that sort of next big thing like how Brock Lesnar was. And with him winning his first WrestleMania match against Brock Lesnar is a huge boost. And I will say this, if he wins, I do see WWE potentially trying to put the world title on him, potentially by SummerSlam. And that's what I'm hoping. Final prediction to kind of end off for this match, Obafemi winning in a big way. The next match, kind of dial it down because this is kind of an iffy one for me to even talk about, and that, of course, is the United States Championship match between Sami Zayn and Trick Williams. Now, I don't really like the direction that they did with this for the United States title, because I knew for sure when they were doing this stuff with Trick and Sami, like back, I believe, on the road to Royal Rumble, I thought and knew that they were going to do something with Trick and Sami. But I did not think they were going to be like, you know what? Let's put the United States title into it. 3 weeks before WrestleMania. So Sami wins against Carmelo. Then a lot of people think, Carmelo gets a second chance potentially in a triple threat. No, they don't do that. So Carmelo Hayes, a guy who has done so much for that United States title ever since he won it last Christmas, is not even on the card. That's the sour thing with this match. Now, of course, yes, we are getting Sami versus Trick, which I believe was the plan all along, But I don't know who it was that thought like, oh, let's take the title off of Carmelo, not put him on WrestleMania, and we'll do the Trick and Sammy match for the United States title. Because the other thing is, the prediction is easy here. Trick Williams. And it's nothing against Sami Zayn. I am a Sami Zayn fan. I love Sami Zayn. I know there's a lot of fans who don't really like him anymore at this point in his career because he's still the same sort of character. I don't care. He is still great, especially in the ring and all that. You know, I still love him. He's still one of my favorites to watch. And I think this match could still be good. It's just, of course, there's that sour taste in this match of how this was built up, especially now putting the U.S. title into the fray. But it just is what it is. But the easy prediction here is Trick Williams. Again, nothing with Sami Zayn, not saying that I don't like him. It's just you have Trick Williams, who has been over by the crowd. If you hear the crowd reactions, you know what I'm saying. And is perfect to go ahead and have a championship on him after WrestleMania. So, final prediction, Trick Williams wins, becomes the new United States champion. Well, the next match, of course, a lot of fans would probably say they would have liked to potentially see this match for the IC Championship, but we're still getting it. And that, of course, is the Demon King, or the Demon Finn Balor, versus Dominic Mysterio. Of course, this, has been built up ever since after Finn Balor had been, of course, short on both of his world title matches against CM Punk. And all that. Excuse me. Against CM Punk and all that, so definitely was definitely interesting. But the story, of course, the same. Being kicked out of the Judgment Day, getting face Balor back, babyface Finn Balor back, and now we're finally getting the Demon again at WrestleMania. And now I'm really hoping, because that is my worry, that of course they have not been really too good with the Demon and with booking the Demon and all that. Remember the last time they had the Demon Finn Balor was the Hell in a Cell match against Edge, and he was supposed to win that match, but Vince McMahon had to change it and have Edge win, when a lot of fans thought the Demon King should have won that match. So I am really hoping they don't have someone like Dominic Mysterio be added to the list of wrestlers to defeat the Demon King Finn Balor. So mostly meaning my final prediction is I have Finn Balor winning this, and hopefully winning this, because I am that Finn Balor fan that still believes he could have at least one more world title reign in him. He is still amazing, still in great shape, that he could go another few years, so I would not be shocked if he does at some point become a world champion. But anyway, my final prediction, I know I've been weird with this match because I've been all over the place trying to say what I want to say about this match, but my final prediction, the Demon King Finn Balor with the win. Now coming up to the final two matches, next is the other Women's Championship match. That, of course, is the WWE Women's Championship match between Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. Now, this has been a so-so build. It hasn't really been great, but this is still a big-time match. It's a dream match between these two powerhouses in the women's division, and it's definitely going to be an interesting match to see. Now, there is some of me that kind of wants to see Jade Cargill retain, but she hasn't really been great in her reign, or they haven't booked her that great in her reign as a women's champion. Ever since she won the title from Tiffany Stratton back at Saturday's Main Event, she's only defended the title I believe once or twice, and she's only defended them on SmackDowns. And this is her first big PLE and big, technically, storyline rivalry for this championship. And of course, now having the addition of B-Fab and Michin being someone who she literally had a rivalry with during her first few days or weeks as champion, which is pretty crazy of them doing that. But I feel like the match could still be interesting. I think the match will still be good. Now, I honestly think this is another match that I'm back and forth about. I want Jay to retain because I feel like a big win against Rhea as champion would be big for her here in WWE, and hopefully either they continue this rivalry if she retains, but I think they'll continue it either way, or they try to finally do something. But either way, there is the chance that we could see Jade retaining, but there is a lot of me that kind of wants to see Rhea Ripley win, because of course it has been over a year since we've seen Rhea as a women's champion, and to see her not as women's world champion but as the women's champion over on SmackDown would be pretty interesting to see, and would be an interesting look with that specific women's title. with that specific women's title. So I'm kind of back and forth with it, but I'm sort of leaning more towards Rhea Ripley. Yes, of course, I am a Rhea Ripley fan. I love Rhea Ripley. She is amazing. One of the biggest women's wrestlers ever. So I definitely am going to go with Rhea Ripley as my final prediction to win and become the new champion. And now we finally end off night 2 and potentially end off this video. No, it's been a long one, but we end off with the main event of night 2, possibly one of the biggest matches for WrestleMania, and that of course is CM Punk versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now you probably already know, you guys know I am a big Roman Reigns fan, so you guys know I am already going to go with Roman Reigns, but there is a little bit of me that could see them pull the trigger of CM Punk retaining. Now I am interested to see how this match goes. I think the match will be great. Second year in a row, both of them are in the main event together. Now they're in the main event of night 2. A lot of people thought this would have been night 1's main event, but with how the build-up was for Cody and Randy, they have now switched the main events, so which I honestly like, because this rivalry has been way much better. The only sort of low point really was, of course, apparent for some fans, was, of course, Roman Reigns saying that CM Punk was old after CM Punk literally said that he was going to bury Roman Reigns next to his father. If you don't know, his father sadly passed away like a few years ago. So that, of course, was a big thing to say to someone like Roman Reigns. But I think this will be a brutal war against each other. I'm hoping this match is really great. But my final prediction, I did say it before, you guys know, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns to win, because I would love to see him as world champion again. We haven't seen him as world champion since WrestleMania 40, so I would love to see him finally as a world champion. I know there's the whole thing, well, he's going to be a part-time champion. We'll just see, because that is the big question for this match. What's going to happen after the match, no matter who wins? Like, are they going to continue this rivalry between Roman and Punk, or are they going to do something new, or what? What is their plans after this match, depending on who wins? But my final prediction for this match, ending off night 2 and ending off this video, is Roman Reigns winning and becoming the new world champion. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that of course ends off this video. Whoa, excuse me. I know this was a pretty long video, but of course that is what happens when they have two nights for WrestleMania and a lot of matches. Of course, if you kind of notice, WrestleMania Night 2 does have a shorter amount of matches with 6. Night 1 has 7. So the matches are not even like how I would prefer them to be, because I kind of would like it that way if they were even. But anyway, if you guys made it all the way to this point in the video, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have yours, let me know. Let me redo that. If you guys... I can't speak! If you guys have any thoughts or predictions, let me know you guys' predictions in the comments down below. In the comments down below, let me know you guys' predictions for all the matches and everything else. Let me know y'all's thoughts on my predictions and anything like that. Let me know in the comments down below. Again, if you guys enjoyed the video, you guys know as always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and even hit that notification bell. Make sure the notification bell is on, as I should actually say. Of course, like I said before at the beginning of the video, if you guys remember, I did say I was going to try to do review videos for both nights. I didn't do that for last year's WrestleMania, but I did do it for, of course, for last year's SummerSlam. So I might try to do that for this year's WrestleMania. So make sure you guys have that notification bell on, and so you guys can be notified for when those review videos come out. But anyway, big weekend. Can't wait to see it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And of course, as always, I will see you guys in my next video. And have an amazing, wonderful, blessed day. Peace.